Come forward, sir. And congratulations from me, of course. And I have and just before Istvan speaks, I have a letter from Alessandro, which I need to read out because I promised I would, which says, "Dear Jacob, I hope that this book will give you a moment of joy. I should frankly say that though the volume was big and heavy, the making of this book was no great onus on me, and in fact it turned out to be a pleasure. It's the minimum which I could have done to reward a friend who connected me with the most prestigious pragmatics and philosophy circles in the world. I don't know if I really deserve your esteem and your generosity. You describe me as haudi mobilis, for which I thank you warmly, and this is in a sense true. I hope at least that my energy will bring peace to the pragmatic family and will also serve somehow to expand the horizons of pragmatics to terra incognita. May this book be considered the gift of three affectionate friends, Keith, Istvan and myself, to someone who has always pushed pragmaticians to higher objectives by promoting a collaborative spirit. If there's something I've learned from you, it's that in and through my editorial activities, I should promote collaboration, and I should also create a network of supportive friends. Thank you, dear friend, as by being in contact with you, I re-experienced my reading of David Copperfield, where a network of good and positive friends come to help the hero and his friends in need over and over again. When I was most in need, you were there to help me, without even knowing me. May the good God reward you for everything you have done for all of us. Prof. Alessandro Capone, Professor of Linguistics, Department of Cognitive Science, University of Messina." Well, I'd sort of echo that.
I just want to say a few words, actually a personal experience. Several years ago I invited Jacob to the State University of New York, Albany, to give a couple of talks, and he spent some time there, and we had the opportunity once to go to take a walk on the banks of Mohawk River, and we spent there like 2.5 hours talking about pragmatics only. And I think that I've learned more during these 2.5 hours about pragmatics than from any other book. That was Jacob at his best. So thank you, Jacob. Everything that you have done for me.
Well, first of all, you are probably familiar with a person called Kecskes and A. He is a manipulating editor of some journals, and he appears frequently in airline magazines with the following slogan: "In business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate." And I have been thinking about it often. And I would like to apply that to the case that I am in now, where I get something that I have not negotiated and certainly not deserved. But even so, I would say my gratitude is infinite. First of all, to Alessandro Capone, my friend for over 40 years, who I have known from this very beginning until where he is now, as a big mover and shaker in pragmatics. And although I have never met him personally, a person who I appreciate, and the many qualities of his life and work cannot just be enumerated. And then, of course, the two other editors of this, what I would call a pseudo-festschrift, I'll come back to that. It is Keith, who I met first in England at a conference in somewhere at a very posh restaurant and a club, and finally Istvan, who gave me the opportunity to come to his university after having known him only for a very short time. So these people have sort of, in a way, found out that I got something which I did not deserve and should have anyway. I thank them very much. So what I was going to say more is that the idea of a festschrift has to do with the fact that you have some time past as a person. And one of my friends, who is not here today, Bruce Fraser, asked me at one point, how many festschrifts does a person deserve? Well, of course, the answer is 0 or infinite. It depends on the person. But I must say that this festschrift is not an invention of mine, nor of anybody else. It just came up by, I could say, divine inspiration to Alessandro, who believes in divine inspirations. And that, from that point on, it has just developed and snowballed. At a certain point of time, I found out that when I was asked to write something for this festschrift, I couldn't possibly do it because it was a festschrift. And then somebody said, well, no, it is not a festschrift. It's really a schrift, a piece of writing, put together by your friends. And of course, you can put in something also yourself. So this is why I call it a pseudo-festschrift. But in reality, the most massive festschrift I've ever had. So I thank you also for that. So apart from that, I just want to say thank you everybody who made this possible, and the pragmatic community of which I am a part has been incredibly supportive for everything I've ever done. And of course, I've been involved with the Journal of Pragmatics for 33 years, and there was a rather difficult transition to the new journal, Pragmatics and Society, which now, of course, is completely free of all encumbrances and sailing plainly ahead. And I would say, for those who come in the situation, to a situation that you have to change gears in midlife, I was afraid that this would be a very difficult transition. And at the University of Melbourne, where the 13th conference was held, I got this news that I had been dismissed from my editorship at the Journal of Pragmatics. At that time, I met two persons. One of them is here, the other is not. These two people caught me under their wings and made this transition just not only smooth, but very delightful. The first is John Benjamins. He is here somewhere, I don't see him, but I mean, he must be somewhere here. He said to me, don't despair, come to me, and which I did. And the result is the new journal, and I'm very, very happy about that. And the other person is here, I don't know if he's in the audience, it's Bill Beeman, University of Minnesota, who immediately caught my distress and put me in a chair and said, listen, Jacob, this is just passing. This is not going to happen again, and this is the only time that this has ever happened to you, but it is something that has to go on. Do something new, do something else. And they said, yeah, I just told John Benjamins. God, he said, give him a chance, do a journal with him. So that's what they did. So my thanks to these people. I don't know if they're here, can hear these words, but I mean, I say from the bottom of my heart, they helped me transit from the depths of the dismission to the heights of being accepted again. And this is the crown and the whole thing is that I got a special for these people here, but to which I would say so many thanks, and let me give you a hug.